sometimes bird kills trees and sea creatures.
Sorry, Nemo.
Ferngully.
I haven't watched that movie in a long time. I'll be honest with you, I don't know how to start this one. I don't know where I'm going because nothing went on for this weekend at all.
Not really.
Well,
Most of my
actually,
news
I
is,
know
like,
how to start
snippets.
this one.
Sure.
All I did was play Starfield when I wasn't playing Destiny with you. I mean, that's quite literally all I did. If I get a chance to play, I was on Starfield. But we went to the Children's Museum in Boston on Saturday.
Ooh. I actually like
That was pretty cool. Well, it's not about me. Amelia loved it. Lauren, apparently they have like a little baby area where they can crawl around and play with sensory stuff too. So Lauren had a blast with the babies in there.
No shit. Okay.
I was overwhelmed. There's so many damn just people. There's so many bodies there. And the thing that frustrates me the most is, sure, it's a place for kids to have fun, but if you're not parenting your kid and they're just being little shits, you got to step in and do something.
I have to agree with that much.
Yeah, not much of that going on.
No. People think it's an amusement park, let their kids...
Exactly. That's what it seemed like and felt like. Yeah. Not a fan. Museum itself was cool, though. Then we got ice cream and sat by the river.
I was, because I know Callie's been wanting to bring him often, but I was like, will he do well? Is it really appropriate for him right now?
Yeah, absolutely.
At this age,
they have a whole Arthur place and construction stuff. Like he can sit in a bobcat.
No shit. Okay.
Yeah, I'll have to send you some pictures from it so you can see.
Okay. Give us something to do at some point.
Yes. I don't know how much it was, but if you guys have a library card, you can get like some sort of discount on the tickets as well.
I know Callie and Sawyer do, so it should be able to.
Get one. They're free and they're worth it.
I'm trying to remember. Is it reciprocal?
Reciprocal?
Oh my god. The zoo membership that we have, there's a program that a whole bunch of zoos do across the country, and it's not just zoos. Their memberships work with each other so that they all help each other out, type of thing. So if you have a membership at one, that membership is reciprocal in another one, or at least get like 50% off, type of thing.
That's kind of like state parks and stuff.
Yeah, same idea.
Yeah, I gotcha.
So I'm gonna have to look into that because I think that might be. But then again, I also thought the aquarium was like that, and I'm like, wait, no, two completely different things.
The New England Aquarium? Yeah, no, not the same.
We have
That's all good.
We have a separate membership for that.
Mm-hmm. I would ask you how you had fun, or did you have fun this weekend? But I know what was up with you, so I imagine you were going stir crazy.
Yes, very much so. I can only watch so much anime. I need human interaction.
You have plenty of video games?
Yeah, but the carpal tunnel kills me, so I don't want to overdo it. Yeah.
Even with the shots, it still flares up.
Uh-huh. Especially lately. So I'm like, fuck.
Oh, really? Lately?
Yeah.
Ouch.
Yeah. So I'm like,
well, fuck. Let's make it worse. We're going to play some more Destiny tonight since it was reset.
I'll do it. I'll handle it. I'll cry. But
we'll only play for a couple hours anyway. Then we'll go to bed. I got to work tomorrow.
Well, lucky you.
What do you mean, lucky me? Lucky you. Trade me places.
Okay.
You're in quarantine still. You can't. Or else I'd say, okay, let's do it.
I need human interaction.
What do you call this?
It is. It's a good substitution. Okay. Listen, when I'm yearning for a hug from my wife and my son.
Oh, don't put it like that. That sounds so sad.
It is. I'm like, holy shit. This is flashing back to when I was in the hospital for a week. I'm like, what the fuck?
This year just sucks.
Yes, it does!
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, man.
Oh, my God.
Are you going to be okay? Can you make it till the end of the year?
I hope so.
Me too. Maybe I'll take what I threatened you with seriously and actually talk to Kelly about Series S for you.
Oh, Jesus. Listen, my wish this year is to make it to at least see the birth of my daughter. I want that milestone at least.
It's coming up quick.
Jesus Christ, you ain't kidding. Holy shit.
Do you guys feel ready yet?
Never.
No?
But Callie's already getting into nesting mode, so I'm like, fuck.
Oh, shit. Here we go.
Well, that's
she giving you tasks to do, too?
Well, what the plans were before, and to not derail the conversation anymore, the whole idea for this long weekend that just went by was to fix the shed, because I just finished putting in shelves, so we can start moving the totes that we had in our house from her classroom to put in there, so that she can finally get our bedroom ready for the baby. Get the plywood. That night is when I started getting the fever. I was like, fuck. Then I got the dreaded news the next day. COVID positive.
Yay.
Fuck COVID.
At least you're feeling better now.
Oh yeah, absolutely. After a night's sleep, the fever was gone. I'm basically fine. It's phlegmy. The worst I've been is phlegmy, basically.
Yeah. Sinus shit sucks.
Mm-hmm.
Even if it's just a regular cold, any kind of sinus pressure or cold or head cold stuff, it sucks.
Oh, absolutely. I'm just fingers crossed, knock on wood. I'm sure. I don't know if that's wood or not. Well, given the whole chest thing, it could have been a lot worse. I'm like, thank God.
Yeah.
Because that was one of the doctor's biggest worries when I was going in, and I had the clots that were like, "Oh, did you just recently test positive for COVID?" I'm like, "No, last time I had it was over a year ago." So I'm like, "Fuck."
All right, no more crap until next year.
Yeah, I know, right?
All blue skies and sunshine now. Please, for your own sake.
On both sides, okay?
Yeah. All right. We talked about playing Destiny, and then we got into sad news, and you want a hug, and I wish I could do that for you, but I can't. But do you want to talk about new stuff so we can play?
Yeah, why not?
Okay.
Well, let's just introduce the episode.
Yes. Don't say it. I forgot. Hang on. I think it's 42. Yes, it's 42.
Yay!
Woo! I was going to take a guess, but I'm like, I don't trust myself. All right. Ramblepack Podcast, episode 42. I am Adam, and I'm roasting. Because it's fucking hot.
And I'm Mike, and I'll think of some type of joke, I guess.
Okay. You pale. You're wearing a white shirt. You've been inside all day. You're not allowed sunshine. That's the best I got. I think did I mention this already? Like, I didn't mention it when we started recording, but I don't want to make this the Starfield episode, considering that's all I've been playing, and I hit that point where I'm like, okay, I love this game, and this is all I want to do right now. So I will hold on to that for a little while. We'll get to that. Let's talk about fun stuff first.
I was going to say, when we were on the bad news train, why don't we just go with the...
What, Embracer Group shutting down Volition?
Yeah.
I think I sent that to you when it happened too, right?
Yeah, you sent me the message as soon as you saw it.
That's really sad too, because they've been around for 30 years, and now that Embracer, since that, again, fallout from that $2 billion deal for them, they're restructuring, and Volition didn't make the cut. Or I guess they got cut. So the studio is no more after 30 years with all the games that they put out. And like, to their credit, they took some swings, and none of them, they didn't really pan out sometimes. Like, they didn't want to do Saints Row anymore after 4. like the mainline Saints Row games that they made, even Get Out of Hell, which was like a DLC standalone kind of game. Those were excellent. They were great. They knew how to do like campy, goofy, funny shit with a GTA twist, or GTA with a goofy, funny twist.
Yeah.
And they did it great. But then they wanted to pivot, and like they did Agents of Mayhem, which was like 1 foot in the Saints Row area, 1 foot in the third-person action kind of category, and it just didn't gel well. It felt really weird.
Yeah.
But I thought it was a cool swing. You know, they were trying something.
Right.
I think if they gave it a little more, it could have worked, because there was some decent stuff there. And then they rebooted fucking New Saints Row, and that was so. But there was a lot, dude. They've been around for a while and made a lot of games, which I should have listed, but they've done a lot, and a lot of people were just like sharing fond memories of like games that they grew up with that Volition made and stuff that they've experienced or shared with other people. And Volition actually acknowledged that. Besides their first message that they put out saying, "Hey, we're disbanding. You know, we got cut. Not much we can do. Thanks for all the time that you had." Yeah. After they read all the stories from people, they like put out another message and was like, "It's really heartwarming to see all these stories from everybody and things like that. And thanks for sharing your stories about our games throughout the years. It really means a lot. And then we'll see you around." And that's it.
It sucks, and it goes to show the other side of the coin of what we've been talking about with all these major mergers.
The bad side of business.
Basically, like, yeah, you have the good shit that's going on with Microsoft and all that, and it's all fine.
It depends on who you talk to about that, because some people say it's not good.
For the most part, it looks like a good deal, and it's working well for Microsoft in this situation.
Fair.
But goes to also show Embracer Group, they were also another major player at that point, got way too ambitious and
I agree with that statement right there. They were really ambitious. It was like, I'll take that and that and that and all these ones too. What are we going to do with this?
Right.
And then they put all their eggs in one basket, and the whole fell out of the bottom of the basket. So,
and to be honest, this particular scenario probably should have been the biggest worry people would have had between the Microsoft and the Blizzard merger. It shouldn't have been the other shit that they were worried about.
Yeah, I never even considered that until you mentioned it. What if part of this billion-dollar deal, they started axing some studios that they bought previously? Just to, like, make up the difference or whatever.
I wouldn't doubt stuff like that happen. It's not the first time companies have done that. I sincerely hope that
doesn't happen. I don't see it happening, because it seems like Microsoft's just, like, the tentpole for them. Yeah. They're just supporting the studios, and the studios are doing their own thing.
Yeah.
But I really hope that come October, if the agreement goes through and they're able to purchase them, that does not happen.
We're just gonna have to wait and see. No, but it looks like we might be getting that break sooner than we expected.
What do you mean? The video game. Yeah. The video game break. How we talked about maybe we should take a break, or we were discussing that.
We may not have a choice.
Maybe, but it's from what I read about this, it's probably going to hit like the bigger name studios like I was expecting. Mm-hmm. The ones that don't have to rely on this sort of talent are going to be fine. It's just the ones that rely on the stuff from Hollywood is not going to work out, or anyone that's part of SAG-AFTRA. Right. Not going to be able to work. Anyway, what we're getting at is that SAG-AFTRA voted unanimously to send Interactive Media, which is video games, strike authorization to vote for members, or 2 members. It doesn't mean that a strike is going to happen in the video game industry yet, but it does mean that the National Board of Video Games, or whatever it is, can declare a strike if video game companies fail to negotiate fairly with these studios.
And to add clarity, if you guys don't know already, SAG-AFTRA has been in a strike on the film side for
the better part of a year now.
Yeah, holy crap, it's been that long.
It's been a year, like, since the strike proper started. It's been a few months since the actors have joined the strike now.
Yeah,
and it looks like video games may be next on that list.
Because the actors started back in April, isn't it? Something like that?
I mean, that
No.
sounds right. I was going to say, like, May.
It was
June?
I want to say it was around the time of the premiere of Oppenheimer.
Oh, so it was more recently then.
Yeah, because the
You're right. You are right. So July-ish, I think. August.
Because it was during the strike. The strike was announced during I think the red carpet premiere, and then the actors just walked right off.
Yep, you are absolutely right. Yep. Well, just for a little more insight as to what this means for the video game industry, from the article I read from SAG-AFTRA specifically, they said in preparation for the union's forthcoming? It's late. Forthcoming bargaining dates with I can't read tonight. Signatory video game companies. That includes Activision Productions, Blindlight LLC, which I don't remember who that is. Disney Character Voices Inc. Electronic Arts is in that group too. Of course, Epic Games and like WB Games is there too. I've heard of VoiceWorks Productions, but I forget what they did. Insomniac. Mm-hmm. They work with Spider-Man. Take-Two. Mm-hmm. They get a lot of SAG-AFTRA voice actors working for them. Formosa, which I haven't heard of before either.
Ooh, know what I just thought about?
What's that?
Especially with the most recent announcement. How is this gonna affect Destiny?
I don't think it will. The only thing, well, a lot of that work is already done. Like, a lot of the stuff that we play now has been worked on and finished months in advance, usually.
Yeah.
So, Nathan Fillion, all of his voice work for Kate is probably all finished by now. So, if they do go on strike, then he's safe. Actually, he's probably part... Oh, that's confusing, because he's an actor, too. And if he's part of SAG-AFTRA, then do they do this before or after that for him to do the voice work?
Uh-huh. And then not only that, think about granted, I guarantee Lance was part of the union, but his replacement.
But what about Keith David?
Yeah.
Yeah. My man.
Well, guaranteed he hasn't started his recordings yet. Unless they immediately had him start working.
Maybe. But again, you have to wonder if he's part of SAG or not.
I would assume so.
See, I would too, because he is an actor. He's a voice actor, but he's also an actor.
Right. Now, is that two different memberships, or is that because they're both SAG?
You can be one without the other. SAG-AFTRA, they joined together to make one group because it was SAG and then something else.
Yeah.
And then they just got together and was like, we'll just take care of everything.
Right. I couldn't imagine if you're doing both sides of the spectrum, you being part of one union and not the other.
Now, as far as I know, if you're on, the voice act, there's a couple different. Anyway, we've got SAG-AFTRA is like it encompasses all of Hollywood and like the actors and the writers and stuff like that. But there's also like the Writers Guild and there's a Voice Actors Guild as well. I don't know if those are part of SAG too or not. But as far as I'm aware, if you're SAG, they usually like that covers you, and then those actors can become voice actors and do other things. If you are strictly a voice actor, I'm not sure if that allows you to be in SAG or not, or if you have to have on-screen appearances for stuff.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. That'd be interesting to find out.
Yeah. I guess I got some research to do. I mean, we're going to have to figure out what kind of games are going to be hit. Well, what studios are going to be hit and like who uses what kind of actors.
Right. And even then, that's if they even use the strike. Because they haven't.
You're right. If they even strike at all. It's right. just a formality saying, hey, if this doesn't work out for you, you have all the right in the world to strike, and we're behind you.
Because for all we know, the video game industry could be looking at it and be like, oh fuck, the other strike is getting screwed left and right. And they've dug their heels. Let's not fuck with this right now.
Yeah, but it could, well, I guess it's a matter of how you look at that too, because it's the Hollywood elites who are refusing to budge and pay the people their fair wage, whereas game studios and stuff could see that and be like, yeah, we're not assholes. We need these people to make this work, so we're going to work with you.
Right. But some of those assholes that aren't willing to work on the other line are some of these same assholes, like Warner Brothers and Disney, and Universal.
Yeah, yeah, I guess that is true, but I don't know how far removed they are from the video game industry themselves. Like, sure, they allow those game studios, like for WB games or whatever, direct access to certain IPs from Hollywood and whatnot.
Right.
But, like, is it still separate, or are they, like, closely tied together? That one I don't know.
I would think that, at least, like, the Disney Character Voices Inc. one,
That's straight up Disney.
Yeah, that's theirs. It's their subsidiary. It's one of their subsidiary companies, so that they're not looking like a giant freaking monopoly or whatever.
Yeah, and like my line of thinking with WB, the first thing that comes to mind is Mortal Kombat. Yeah. They're under the WB license, but is the Mortal Kombat movies a WB license? Like, do they have that logo when the movie starts?
I wanna say yes. I could be wrong, but
yeah. I'm not sure where that lies, so I don't know. But I mean, they have who did they have in the game as a skin for Johnny Cage and could do his voice? Was it Rob Van Dam, the wrestler?
I could not tell you.
Okay, I can't remember. I'm just wondering if any of those guys are protected under SAG-2 or not. Nope, Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Jean-Claude.
Not Rob Van Dam. That's a wrestler. I'm fucking stupid.
Well, you said wrestler. I'm like...
Yeah, I was wrong. It's Jean-Claude Van Damme. So, yeah.
That would be interesting.
Yeah, so that might be how they, pulled some strings and got him to do some voice and body work.
Yeah.
Was that a cat?
Luna and Snow pissing each other off.
I thought I heard him. Hey.
Yep. Well, yeah. Only time will tell with that stuff.
Hopefully it's good stuff.
I'm more interested how they're going to handle the AI portion. That's more.
That's also, I don't want to get into that right now, but it's kind of like a different beast when it comes to video games too. I don't want to get into it right now.
No, we're not. We're not going to. It's a whole other beast that's the same beast, but I'm interested in how they're going what agreement they come.
Not entirely though. That's the thing. It helps with game development, but people don't want that. They want the people to have the jobs to make those. Now you can utilize AI to that's kind of like what a lot of stuff does in some games. Like when you have things that are generating, what am I trying to say here? Think of randomized dungeons. It's kind of like a rudimentary AI working on the game where it's generating something from a set of information for you to play through. You program that set of information into the game so that way it has these building blocks to create the thing. It's not pulling it from anywhere else. It's just using information that it's being given to do so. If you expand that to use AI and give it a bigger pool to work with, you can get a lot more permutations of different things to keep it fresh every single time. You can also apply that to AI work for NPCs where you're encountering different NPCs all the damn time in different games.
Right.
I don't want to go any further than that, though. It's just a big mess.
I wasn't trying to. I was just once.
No, I know.
I'm curious as to where they're going to end up in that situation as far as the agreements go, because I'm very curious as to how they're going to use that technology.
Right.
Because of the shit that you're talking about.
I will say that there is some pushback from quote unquote gamers and stuff, people who are in the know about this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But there are a lot of other people who are this can be used for good rather than evil. It's just a matter of what camp you fall under and how you would prefer to use that kind of technology.
Right. And I think that's where regulations and shit like that the SEC brought up That's what the SEC should be going after, to be honest, is that type of shit. And put
there was a judge that made a ruling that stuff isn't copywritten either. Like, if an AI generates stuff, it's not copywritten.
Really?
Yeah. I would have to find the ruling and let you read it and figure out what his reasoning was, but just because one judge said it doesn't make it a law.
Right, because I think I remember the whole precedent between why like companies are knuckling down on, hey, your artist can't be using these tools to generate stuff, like with the D&D book stuff, where they knuckle down on that shit. Yeah, it's a hot button for a social issue, but at the same time, I guarantee you, from a legal standpoint, they're telling them, hey, you need to stop.
It's a mess.
Yes.
Yay.
Hope for the best, but expect the worst.
Yes. We'll see what happens. Hopefully good stuff.
So there was a Super Mario Wonder Direct?
You didn't remember that last week?
I forgot.
That's okay. It's only like 15 minutes long. Very quick. The game looks super cute. It's very colorful, and like I mentioned last week, it looks super animated and lively. Mm-hmm. When you see it in auction, when you see it in action, you're like, "Aw, it's cute." It looks really good. It's very cool. It's super colorful too, but like it's really, really animated. Everything moves just about.
Yeah,
it's cool. Meg fell in love with a new enemy called Mama. It's like the slug-looking creature that chases you along the ground and like for a short while before it gets tired and like opens its big old mouth to take a breath for a second. No, I got that backwards. It chases you with its mouth open really quick for a little bit, and it's pretty fast. But it'll tire out and then stop for a second and need to breathe. And she was watching that as it chased Toad, and it stopped, and she's like, "Oh, it's cute." I'm like, a thing with a big old mouth. That beats me. I think the flowers are going to get annoying, if anything. Because, like, every flower you pass has something to say, even if you can't see them on the screen. Because they showed a couple of them where, like, it was up in, like, canopies of trees, but the camera doesn't follow you up there, and they're still talking to you. It's cool.
On that topic, apparently our speculations have been kind of confirmed with that.
What?
The new voice actor for Mario, they're not gonna be saying who it is until...
No, throughout that whole direct they didn't mention anything, but you got to hear a lot of the voice work.
Yeah. If I'm not mistaken, what I find funny is the American president's name is Bowser.
Yeah, Doug Bowser.
He's
a cool dude.
I just find that funny.
It's hilarious. And like they'll do when he first took over, they would use that to their advantage in some directs too, where it's like, I'm Bowser and he's Bowser, and like it was Bowser with a tie on standing behind him and shit like that. It was funny.
Listen, they missed the opportunity.
Nintendo's smart when it comes to marketing.
They missed the opportunity of making him walk on stage with like a Bowser suit on.
He doesn't go that far, but he has like subtle nods to Bowser on like his suit and stuff before.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, they do it smart.
They didn't want to go the Jack Black route?
No. Anyway, do you want to learn a little bit about the game, what was in the direct, or would you like to watch it yourself? I would recommend anybody watch it if you're interested in Mario and stuff.
I will watch it, but yes, you can give me some snippets.
Okay. Just like Super Mario 3D World, you can have up to 4 players. Mm-hmm. There's like a health system this time, where it's like 2 hits and you're gone, basically. But if you're playing with more than one person, you pop into a little bubble, and then whoever's still alive can pop your bubble and bring you back with like 1 heart or 2 hearts. I think it's 1.
Okay.
So that's cool. And there are 8 different characters that you can play this time, up from like 5.
Okay.
I think is what the original, or what 3D World was like, where you got Mario, Luigi, Toad, but this time you got 2 different colors of Toads. You got yellow or blue. And then, who did I say? Mario, Luigi, Toad. Peach is playable as well. And then they brought in Daisy, which was a new thing because one of the games directors was like, we had to put in Daisy because I didn't want to hear my kids fight over who got to be Peach anymore.
Oh, Jesus.
So I was like, good reason. I like Daisy. She's cool. They have different colors of Yoshis, and they brought back the little purple rabbit character named Nabbit. Oh, and Toadette.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah. Apparently Nabbit and Yoshi are the beginner mode characters. They don't take damage when they hit things and stuff like that. Yoshi can flutter jump and get higher in the air.
Yeah.
Yoshi can also carry characters.
Yeah.
Of course. So it was funny watching giant elephant Mario jump on Yoshi's back and then him flutter jump away.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
What the fuck is Elephant Mario?
It's a Mario that eats an elephant fruit and then he becomes an elephant. All the characters can do that. So yeah, that's one of the new powers. There's elephant fruit, there's bubble flower, and there's the drill mushroom.
Oh, Jesus.
It's cool. And they have 7 areas to play this time. There's 7 different worlds, and some of them have like open world aspects to it, where you just basically instead of following like the lines to the levels, you're just walking around in an open area, going to like different worlds or courses or whatever you want to call it.
Yep.
And you can earn badges in courses to change how some characters act or play. And
Sweet.
There's like 3 different flavors of badges, I guess.
Okay. He's gonna be fun.
And it's probably going to be $70.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah. How'd that make you feel?
My ticker!
I don't know why, but that's funny when people call their heart their ticker. What?
No, I was just trying to think of something funny to say, but I drew a blank.
When the ticker stops ticking, you dead.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, that's true. But since we got this Direct, there's also rumors of another Nintendo Direct coming, as well as a Sony State of Play in the next, I don't know, month at least. Sometime in the next month. Some people were saying that we might get a Direct next week. There's no word. It's just all rumors. Like one of the subreddits I read, there was rumors that there's going to be a Nintendo Direct next week with an announcement either tomorrow or Thursday. We'll see. I particularly don't know and don't subscribe to that. I like hearing it directly from sources.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see. But we are overdue on a State of Play.
Yes, we are.
They're probably going to... If they do one, I have a feeling it's going to be like Spider-Man heavy. Because that game comes out in October as well, I believe.
Yes. You know what else comes out
shit.
in October?
Hang on. Before you get there, you don't use Twitter or X.com or whatever the fuck you want to call it. But either Sony or Insomniac put out a hilarious tweet regarding Spider-Man 2. The collector's edition has a Venom statue.
Mm-hmm.
It's a cool looking statue. The little blurb that they put to go along with the picture was, "Are you ready for 19 inches of Venom?" Yeah. And that was meme to hell.
Oh, fuck. that had to have been completely on purpose. There's no...
It was, you know what? I think it was just more of like, yeah, this sounds good. The statue is 19 inches. We got to work that into the thing. And then they put it out. It's like, oh, we didn't think this through. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, besides 19 inches of Venom, what else is coming out in October?
No!
Oh, God.
No!
See, I didn't realize what I just... Oops. I'm sticking with it.
Oh, dear God.
So what about October?
How do we go from X-rated to family wholesome?
Backwards.
Apparently. So, what else is coming out in October?
Get us away from that.
Dreamlight Valley's launching a physical copy.
Oh, yeah. I could not parse out exactly what you meant, but I knew what you were talking about, Dreamlight Valley. I forgot that that's what's happening.
Yeah, so So I'm assuming that's the full game release at that point. So like the full main story. I know we got the credits with the most recent update, but like the game's at full release for the main base story at this point.
That's what I'm assuming too. But that's also like a weird gray area because when you buy games now, it still prompts the game to download. It's not necessarily always on the disc.
Right.
So it might not even be the full release. It's just like, hey, here's most of the stuff with the key to get like the extra stuff that they're adding to the disc.
Right.
But then you still have to go and download everything else.
My thing about it is that going... Because I'm thinking it from the perspective of like Sawyer and with his PlayStation account. Dreamlight Valley shuts off all internet version, the internet portion of it. Mm-hmm. So let's say you buy it for your kid who you have an age restriction on. So there's no internet connection for this game. So the base game has to be able to be downloaded from the disc, be able to be played from the disc.
My guess is you will get a prompt for like the parental controls asking you to download it or if it's okay to. Like usually with those things, if it didn't have you do it, you should probably set up like a passcode or something. So that way even if he finds a way to do so, it'll prompt for a passcode and then obviously he won't know it so he can't punch it in.
Oh no, I have the whole PlayStation verification thing through my freaking phone. There's no chance of him getting around it.
You may get a notification saying, hey, this needs to download. Do you want to allow it?
Right. So
that's my assumption. I don't know for a fact, but usually that's how that shit works.
Yeah, and then I want to say the base, like all the game shit, the main game shit is downloaded on mine first, and then from there, portions off to everybody else.
I need to look at I really need to look at Dreamlight's files. Because, like, all the upgrades and stuff they do, I'm assuming that it is just part of the game. Like, it's fully integrated. It's not a separate download that has to be read. If that's the case, then that shit could very well be on the disc.
Yeah, I think, like, all the main story stuff. Because, like I said, the Star Path, when you go on to, like, the kid-restricted version, you don't have access. You can't see the Star Path. You can't do the Moonstone stuff. You can't do
because all that stuff is part of their service.
Right. Which means you wouldn't be able to get like the extra stuff from Wally.
Right.
Everything else, I would assume, would be part of the base game at this point.
Maybe they'll put out something saying, "Yeah, this is version 1.0 of the game finally." I could do a little bit of digging and find out.
Right. But yeah, the pre-orders, if you guys don't already know, pre-orders are already out. It's called the Cozy Edition.
Ooh.
You get some stuff that wasn't available with the Founders Packs, one of which is making me lead to believe the Founder Pack stuff is going to end up in the premium shop at some point. The Cottage, because that was already in the premium shop for everybody else, unless they did that by accident. But we had a nice little text message conversation about people's gripes about this.
That was people's gripes. Personally, I don't give a shit. It's just, to me, that screams entitlement just because you were there at the beginning.
Right. You paid the money for the early access. You bought it knowing bugs and all. You know the terms and agreements.
You got stuff for buying it early and getting in.
Right. And not to mention...
people... Go ahead.
No, I was going to say, not to mention the fact that like one of the biggest things that people are talking about now is, like, especially with the Dream Snaps, some people who are just starting the game recently are seeing people using stuff from the original Star Path, like the up balloon.
Yeah, they can't get those anymore.
Because the developers already said they're not re-releasing the Star, or at least they already said they're not re-releasing the Star Paths.
Right.
Now, whether or not they're going to make those items available later on, I don't know what the exact
that would be
wording
nuts, dude. What if they took like the Star Paths and made bundles that you could buy, like say $10-15, and you get everything from the Star Path.
Right. Maybe like early. Yeah, do like a bundle pack where like, hey, early release perks. You can pay this amount of money for all the stuff that was available during the early release year. Year 1 pack, Year 2 pack, Year 3 pack.
Then why didn't they just make that like one of the versions of the game? If this is the full release, why not say like the complete edition and you pay $100 and you get all the Star Path items in the game and this cozy shit too?
I don't know.
There's plenty of different avenues they could do. They could also just be something that Disney's like, you can do this for like each of these seasons or whatever you want to call it, right. But that's it. That's as far as it goes.
Right. Because I don't see Disney giving the okay for them to re-release like the 50th anniversary stuff and the 100-year anniversary.
You know what? If Disney's making money, I don't think they're going to push back on a lot of stuff.
You'd be surprised.
Maybe.
But yeah, no. I personally have no the gripes that we're talking about that people were having that Adam's talking about is entitlement, which I completely agree with. Is the people are complaining that they have to pay full price for the physical game
just to get the items.
Yeah, I'm like, if I'm buying the physical.
Specifically, there's no way to buy the Cozy Cottage stuff separately from the release of the physical game. It comes with it.
Yeah, what's the irony?
And they feel like if they bought or if they've been playing the game since the beginning, they deserve to buy it or they want to have it in some fashion.
Well, look at my situation. I bought the standard pack at the beginning, and not too long ago we ended up getting the deluxe edition.
Well, you upgraded.
I paid the full thing. It made me pay the full price.
Oh, I know.
And I got the full... granted, I didn't get, like...
I still call that upgrading, even if you paid for it.
Yes, they upgraded, but I still paid the full price as if I was originally... It's not a prorated amount to make up the difference.
How much did you spend, if you don't mind saying? How much was it total?
Fuck, I don't remember. Let's look it up really quick. But even then, with that stuff, I knew what I was buying, and then I don't doubt I'm gonna see myself getting the physical copy. One, because it's Callie's favorite game at this point. But like we talked about, we like having the physical copies. This is more like a collector thing for me.
But the physical copy doesn't matter anymore if it just prompts you to download the game anyway.
I like having something tangible. Okay.
No, you're right. I do too.
Let's see, PlayStation. Come on.
I guess that's one of the good things about Nintendo is you buy the case with the game, you get the game is on the thing that they gave you.
You want to know how bad it is?
What?
I read an article earlier how like the PlayStation and the Xbox versions, you're getting a physical disc.
Mm-hmm.
The Switch version, you don't get a cartridge.
What? You just get a download code?
You buy the box, and inside the box is a download code.
It's a waste of plastic and paper. What the hell?
Uh-huh.
Oh my god. I mean, I guess I'm not surprised. Especially since it's an online-only game, you know? But that's like such a waste for the Switch. Yeah,
basically. I'm like, if that's the case, just fucking make them buy it. Well, then again, the extra stuff's because it's not just the digital stuff. You get one of the one of 6 posters with it and a map of Dreamlight Valley or whatnot. I don't remember the details. But,
okay, so they're trying to sweeten the deal.
Yeah. Okay, so the base game, the base founder pack was $29.99. The Ultimate Edition was $69.99. So I paid $100.
Okay. And then you're going to spend another $50 or $60.
Probably.
Gross. No offense. You like it? I have no room to talk because I bought No More Heroes 3 different damn times, and I love that game. So I spent easily $120 on that.
But that's what we're talking about. We don't mind spending the money.
Yeah, if you like it, who cares?
If we know what we're buying, yes. If we're getting our money's worth, yes.
Yeah.
It's other situations where you know it's a blatant.
Just a cash grab?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's when we have issues. But this isn't one of them. Sorry. No. It's it's a non-issue. So
tell me if this is a... Go ahead.
No.
Sorry.
I was going to say, so if you guys haven't started playing and want a physical copy, they're available October 27th.
Now, I was going to ask you, tell me if this is a cash grab or not. The hell's with the Disney Lorcana trading cards? I don't know shit about those.
Ooh, that is bad. Like, I knew
Explain,
right away.
because I have no clue.
Basically,
please.
From my understanding, Disney Lorcana is supposed to be like... It's a trading card game. It's supposed to be along the lines of like... Yeah. It's supposed to be like Magic.
Okay.
I haven't got... I wanted to get a pack. One of my friends is a... oh my god!
A person?
Yes, he's a I would hope he's a person.
Okay.
No, he has a hobby shop.
Oh,
and he got his packs in early, and I saw him playing one of the vacations that he had just happened to go on vacation the week that they came in. So him and his wife grabbed the pack, brought it, each grabbed a pack and brought it with them to go when they went on vacation to try out the game. And it looked cool. Problem is, people are already anticipating it to be, because of the way people are with trading cards now, they were already expecting these things to be sold out before they even hit the shelves.
Right.
Scalpers are buying them left and right. A basic starter deck was supposed to be like $16, $17. You try to look for them online, you're looking at least $30.
Jeez.
Uh-huh.
I will say, like, cards in general, like, even, like, baseball, basketball, hockey cards, as well as, like, trading card games and other things like that are, like, everybody's trying to buy up all they can now lately.
It's ridiculous. I'm like, fuck, man. They do realize this. I understand this stuff's going to get expensive. This stuff is going to get rare. But especially the older stuff.
My question is, why this? Why is this such a sought-after thing right now?
Because it's Disney.
That's it? It's not that it's a good card game where, like, there's certain cards that are just OP and people want them?
It's just because it's Disney.
It's a shit reason, though.
It is a shit reason, but look at people.
I mean, it's Disney.
There are people that would go, before they started putting restrictions on shit, there were people that would physically go to the parks, wait in 4 or 5 hour lines and clear shelves to get freaking popcorn buckets that were, if you buy them in the park, $20, $30, go to sell them online for like a couple thousand.
Yeah, it's like Beanie Babies all over again.
Yeah, exactly.
That's showing our age.
It's fucked up.
Dude, I got a story about that really quick. When I did, like, at our babysitter's house who did the newspaper route that I talked about way long before, they were super into, like, the whole collecting and looking for specific Beanie Babies and shit. They would wake up at 3 or 4 in the morning to go somewhere, stand in line to get specific ones so they can put it in a glass box and keep it and sell it later. They were hardcore.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Nope. I'm about collecting, but not that kind of collecting. I'm sorry. Power to you if you make money from it. No, sorry.
Too much.
If I'm collecting, it's because I'm obsessed with something. As you can tell, where I have a whole wall of Kingdom Hearts pops, and my whole side is Star Wars stuff. So,
hey, can I make you mad?
Sure.
I can do it 2 different ways, and I don't know which one is going to be more fun. And I'm sorry in advance.
No, you're not. The fact that you're using the word "which one's going to be more fun" means you're not sorry at all.
I love you. Sorry.
What is it?
Let's just rip the Band-Aid then. We got off PlayStation too quick. How do you feel about them increasing their prices by about 33%?
Fuck PlayStation. Okay.
All the more reason to get that Series S for you.
I'm not against price increases. Everybody else is going up, and I get that. But the jump it's steep. Holy fuck.
This is also, I saw a lot of people talking about this, like saying it's hearkening back to PlayStation 3 era Sony, where they're really arrogant with their prices. It was like, yeah, it's this. You'll buy it. Who cares?
Case in point, PlayStation Portal.
Yeah. Who's that for? Nobody.
I don't fucking want it. Fuck that shit.
But yeah, they're increasing PlayStation Plus prices. Basic tier's going from $60 to $80. The middle tier is going from $100 to $135. And the premium ultimate top tier, whatever you want to call it, is going from $120 to $160. That hurts.
And I bought that one.
You got in on the ground floor though, but when you re-up for the next one, it's gonna hurt.
Uh-huh.
Sorry, man.
If you break it down, it's like $16 a month, and given what it is...
Yeah, but if you pay monthly, it's a lot more manageable than just saying, oh, we'll shell out $200 for a year.
Well, I'm sure I believe the monthly prices are steeper, because I think the 160 is like it's paid in full price. But at the same time, that's a big jump going from 120 to 160.
Yeah.
I would understand, okay, let's do $20 increments over the next year or so. I wouldn't be against that. That's fine.
I'm wondering what they're trying to offset with the price increase.
The fucking that they're going to get, they got from the Call of Duty deal.
Jesus. Maybe. Okay, let's keep this train rolling. Aren't you excited about the Stray movie?
What the fuck?
People like the game, man.
Enough for there to be a fucking movie?
Apparently.
Dude,
you have two cats now, and you don't like cats? What's wrong with cats?
I like cats, but I ain't gonna watch a movie about my fucking cat.
A Day in the Life of Snow.
Listen, the little asshole shat on my bed the other day. I'm good.
So, I the only thing I know about the movie is that it's not going to be live action or anything. It's supposed to be whoa, I just lost my words. What was I saying? It's supposed to be animated, right?
Uh-huh.
Tell me. I want you to read the title that you put in here.
The title that the article used, I did not.
Okay.
Was a beloved 2022 video game is being turned into a movie, and it's a perfect choice.
Yeah.
And in the capital, I put next to it, blah.
How does it make you feel reading that?
Exactly that, blah.
Okay.
I want to vomit. Okay. I'm like I said, I've given this game shit. I've never played it. I don't plan on it.
Oh, it's being made by Annapurna Animation. Okay. So it's just basically their other arms taking it as like, hey, this did well, let's turn it into a movie. That's cool. Because Annapurna Pictures, they funded a lot of like really cool indie video game stuff. So the fact that they funded this game, it was like, hey, a lot of people liked it enough, let's turn it into a show or a movie or whatever. And they're taking it and putting it into their other arm. That's cool.
Famous last words.
Why do you say that?
Let's see. Final Fantasy, Twisted Metal.
Hey, Twisted Metal is actually a pretty decent show, apparently. Still haven't watched it, but people are saying it's good.
I haven't watched it either. So.
And to be the contrarian to your point, Last of Us was a good show.
It was also a good game.
Yeah. You saying Final Fantasy is not a good game?
Final Fantasy was a good game.
Okay, then.
But it made a shit
You're talking
movie.
about the... Yeah, but like that has nothing to do with Final Fantasy. They strayed way too far from that. World of Warcraft had a movie, and apparently that was decent, too. I didn't watch it. I don't know.
I watched it.
Okay. Anyway, that's all for you. You have fun with that. I'm going to take you out and go watch it when they put it out.
Fuck that.
It's just one of those continuing things.
Fine, you can take me to that movie, but you have to buy me dinner first.
Sure. Where you want to go?
Somewhere expensive.
Okay.
So I can yak it all up.
Jeez. Tell me how you really feel, why don't you?
Oh, Jesus. You said it right, Snow. Meow! Get down.
I didn't even pick that up.
But yeah. Let's see. What else do I got before?
Oh shit! One of your articles, is this the Are these the two guys that like walked out with suitcases of magic cards during like the event?
I think so. I don't think it. From what I was reading in the article, it might be the same one, but it's not that it was suitcases. Basically, they stole a pallet. They were working the event. They stole a pallet.
That's what it was. Yes.
They hid it. They hid it behind a curtain or something ridiculous. And then later went by with a doll. Later in the day, went with a dolly, unpacked the pallet, and loaded up into the back of an SUV.
Mm-hmm. And then they returned it later on too. I saw an article like that they had returned the cards or they showed back up or something.
No, I don't know if they returned it, but I know it's been seized as evidence though. So they had like video footage from what the article was saying. They actually had like video footage of these guys doing everything.
Right.
When
when there's cameras all over the place.
Oh fuck yeah! But holy shit, $300,000 worth of magic cards? Fuck. You guys are screwed.
Yeah. I mean, like I've said before, you play stupid games, you win stupid prizes.
Uh-huh. Because if they're found guilty...
From the floor of the Indiana Convention Center, brought to a parking garage where they were stashed before ending up in New York City, where they had since been recovered.
And
so it's not that they were returned; they were just recovered in New York.
Yeah.
And the cards are expected to be used as evidence. Well, no shit.
That also means that shop owner ain't gonna get shit for it. Ain't gonna get any of that back.
Hopefully, it gets returned. But you're right.
They're gonna hold that. They're gonna hold that shit in evidence, just in the chance that there's ever a rebuttal type of thing, and they ain't gonna get shit back. But yeah, the fact that they
hopefully that dude's got insurance.
Basically, I would hope so.
Yeah.
But yeah, these guys are facing 1 to 6 years in prison and a $10,000 fine each.
Well, so don't be fucking stupid.
I agree, 100%. You might like this next one.
Uh-oh. I don't think I will.
It's why? It's
I don't know. It depends on.
It's Starfield.
Which? Okay, I thought you were going to talk about the GameStop one.
If you want, there's apparently a way to level up fast in the game.
I haven't figured it out. What is it? Because I'm enjoying just exploring.
Have sex daily.
So I've heard about the buff, but I didn't know anything about it.
Yeah, apparently you get like a 50% XP boost for like the next 24 minutes after having sex with your partner.
15 or 50? Because it sounded like you said 50.
15, 1-5.
Okay.
Sorry, I'll enunciate next time.
Only 24 minutes though? That's not very long.
Huh. How often do you go to sleep?
That's enough time to run through a base. Because I don't think the time counts when you're like fast traveling between planets and stuff. It's only like active time.
Yeah.
So if you fast travel to some mission on a base or something and you run through it and killing everybody, then you get a lot of experience. Not bad. Still haven't done that with any of my companions yet, though. I'm still working on raising their friendship level or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, that's the caveat. You can't get it's not one night stands. That's not possible in the game. Yeah. You have to get married to them first, then have sex with them.
Well, I'm nowhere near that yet.
So that answers my question. I'm like, how easy is it to build up that relationship? Is it worth the buff?
Well, depending on the character and your choices and what you're doing and stuff and how long they're with you, it works pretty well. But I'm still working on it. And I've put in at least like 10 hours now. So, yeah.
Low enough hours that it may be a nice thing to pick up, but I guarantee you after like 50 or so hours into the game, I'm like, fuck that. I wouldn't do that.
But it's so much fun.
Hey, somebody else has our same, oh my god.
Use them words.
Fuck. Apparently, you're not
sharing our same sentiments.
Yeah, about physical copies, but for different reasons.
So yeah, I kind of read through a little bit of that. And I'm like, I get what you're saying, man, but you sound like a dick.
You thought you were being smart, but no. What we're talking about is oh my god, because of Apple being forced to shift their systems from using their sole lightning cables, they have to adopt the USB-C charging system. Per a push from the European Union.
Mm-hmm.
So that people... Huh?
I was going to say proprietary hardware doesn't really work unless you're like the market leader on stuff and you don't have a choice.
Right, exactly. So it's basically to help prevent people from having to buy separate stuff to just to charge their devices, bring down waste, shit like that.
USB-C is being widely adopted in a lot of electronics too, and like just the fact that it's universal on the end is great.
Oh, absolutely.
But you're right, it does reduce waste and stuff like that as well.
And they must have been doing the production for a while, because Callie's laptop that she had gotten for her birthday already has the new USB-C port. It's not the Lightning anymore.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no. The person who congratulated that was the CEO of GameStop. His exact words were "big win for consumers." Cohen, when he was replying to the Apple's move to USB-C, consumers have also invested their hard-earned money into physical video games. Disk drives should be required on consoles. It's okay.
I disagree. I disagree. That's not how things are working in the economy. In the ecosystem these days anymore.
I agree and disagree. I agree for the fact that I more of a bias because I prefer physical games.
As do I.
And we should be able to have the granted, I also think we should have the option to be able to have backwards compatibility with our older games, so we don't have to rebuy them if we don't want to.
And we do, but at least the Xbox does. But it's only last gen, and it's limited to what they have from previous generations.
PlayStation doesn't do that.
Yep, sorry.
That I'm aware of, anyways. So the last time
any Xbox One X game I can throw into my Series X and play it perfectly fine, no problem.
The physical disc?
Yep.
Okay.
But since we're talking about physical discs now, we already mentioned this earlier. The problem is that the game is not on the disc. It still prompts you for a download, and you have to do that and then have the game on there. It's not on the disc. It doesn't matter.
When you put the old game in there, it makes you download it from the store?
Even on that old system, it still did.
I'm talking about like PlayStation shit.
I don't know about PlayStation.
Like for me, I'm talking about like PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2. PlayStation Store shit.
No. There was no such thing as the store back in PlayStation 1. Those were on the disc. I'm saying these days when you buy the disc for the game, you still have to download it anyway.
Right. But I'm talking about along the lines of like being backwards compatible, having disc drives on those consoles.
Right. I will say some 360 games will play straight from the disc. You don't have to download them.
Okay. So, from that sentiment, that's where I agree. Yes, they should still have the drives, but that's more.
But that's a very specific instance as well.
Right. That's me being sentimental type of shit. He's speaking from the fact that, hey, I'm gonna lose my job. Give me my games back.
Can't trade a game in if it's all digital.
Basically.
Yeah, it does cut into their bottom line, but I mean, gotta evolve with the times, man.
Basically, they're not really giving us a choice.
Yeah. But at least, like, at GameStop, you can still buy game codes. You can say, I want this game digitally, and then, like, they'll sell you the game code, and you just take it home and punch it in, and you got it.
Yeah, but at that point, why the fuck am I going all the way to the store? Why don't I just do that online, or why don't I just buy it directly out of the game store?
You're right. You are right. Why don't you? You don't have to go into the game store.
Yeah.
And by game store, I mean GameStop.
Right. You don't have to go third party. You could just...
Yeah. I think that's why they shifted to a lot of, like, physical tchotchke stuff.
Right. And even then, that's only going to last... how well are they going to do with that?
Probably not very well. The only reason why they stuck around was the whole, whatchamacallit craze. The whole stock stuff.
No. Because I'm sure they have like GameStop exclusive shit, but like for example, most of my Pop figures, I didn't, and there's no way in hell I got them from GameStop. I got them all from basically Hot Topic and a collectible store that had them, and people just happen to turn in. The GameStop exclusive stuff and the
Wasn't
Target
there one
exclusive.
that you went and picked up at GameStop because they had it?
Yes.
Like recently?
Yes, the recently released ones. I definitely
fucking
went
liar.
to GameStop to pick. No, I said I didn't get all of. There was no way I would have gotten all of them from that.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Okay.
Buy GameStop is what I'm saying.
Well, that would be sucky for a lot of the employees there, but if they shifted to, like, all online digital stuff, it may help them out.
I have a feeling that's
or just, like, do a warehouse style.
Probably. They might do some, worst case scenario, do something out of like, Amazon or whatnot.
Yeah. Who knows?
Mm-hmm.
We'll see.
So we're now at your favorite part.
What, bedtime?
Oh, okay. You want to go to bed?
Yeah, see ya.
Okay. Night.
My second favorite thing? It's not even my second favorite thing. It is my favorite thing right now. I went like... I was like a sine wave when it came to like Starfield and playing it. I was like, I started at the top and I was like, I'm excited to play it. And then I started playing it and I went down and I was like, oh, okay, hang on a second. And then it started clicking. I'm like, oh, okay, now it's going back up. And now it's just staying up there. Yeah. I love this game so much. It is all I want to play right now. It's so good.
Well, give me a synopsis. Let me know what you think of the game so far.
I like it. Done deal. See you later. Well, the game is on OpenCritic. It's got an average score of 87 from all the reviews and everything, and it's 93% recommended. A few 7 out of 10s in there, including from Polygon and IGN. And a lot of people were upset at that 7 out of 10, but other people are like, after playing it, they understand where it's coming from, even though they might not agree with the score or say that that is their own personal score from that. For the game itself, through people who got early review codes and had early access to the game, like I paid into the early access because I just couldn't wait. I wanted to play it.
Yeah.
The consensus is that if you like RPGs, especially Bethesda-style RPGs and looter games, you'll love it. It has super deep RPG components to it where you can basically, literally, not even joke, play whatever type of character you want. You do not have to shoot people. You do not have to do the main story. You can be whatever you want. You can turn your ship that you get into a freighter, haul cargo from planet to planet, talk with people, and be set up with like a merchant's guild in the game. You can set up outposts on planet that link to each other to transfer items from one place to another, smuggle it onto another planet, and craft resources and sell it back to other people to make money.
Yeah.
I read a lot about people, like, they settled on a city on a planet called Neon, and all they did was make a certain type of drug. And then they like build outposts with the money that they made to smuggle more contraband past certain things so that way they can make more. and they call themselves like the Walter White of that planet or whatever, just because that's what they built up to do.
Oh, fuck.
There is so much you can do with that game. This is, as they were saying, the least buggiest Bethesda game that they've ever put out. I've only experienced one problem, and it wasn't even a crash. I was loading up the star map to check out something, and it was just like a darkish bluish black screen, like it's what would be the background for the star map, and nothing was coming up or loading, so I just had to like hard reset the game, play it, and that was it. Never experienced another bug, no crashes, no glitches, no nothing has happened in the game so far.
Yeah.
Some people experience like the occasional bug or crash on like certain things happening, but nothing bad. Some people can force a crash too, depending on what they do with the game. Like if there was a mod that, like of course with any other Bethesda games, there like the mod scene is huge. Someone made a mod to bypass the boundaries for when you're walking, but when you does that, it basically overflows the memory and then crashes the game. So that's probably why they have those in place in the first place.
Yeah.
Some detriments to the game, like I'm kind of iffy on this one too. A lot of people are complaining about the abundance of load screens. Everywhere you go, everything you do is a load screen. You go in a building, you got to load for a second or two, you're in the building. You go out, same thing. You go into space, takes a second to load. It shows an animation of the ship taking off, then it loads, and then you're in space. You go to a planet, or a different solar system, or star system, or whatever it is. So it's a little animation, then another loading screen, and you do that. It takes, at most, 5 seconds. That is the longest that anything is at the load for me. It's not terrible, but it's constant.
Right. It's more of an annoyance than anything else.
I mean, it really kind of like takes you out of it for a minute and breaks it up, but it's not terrible.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're in it, you're in it. It's not a big deal.
Right.
It hasn't gotten too annoying to me yet. What else? The inventory system. When I started it, super confusing. It's really clunky and weird, and despite being an RPG, it doesn't have a lot of information that you would really want or need or anything to like specify stuff. But once you understand what certain words or things mean, or the acronyms that they have set for things, or what the symbols mean, because they don't even explain that either. It's not like you can't press a button for help and say, this is this is that, this is how this works. You got to figure it out.
Yep.
But once you do, it makes perfect sense. It's a little clunky because it's just a radial thing, you pick your thing, and then it's a list. That's it. And then you got to parse through the information from that list. Not terrible, but it's a little annoying. This I can't believe that they got away with. Well, they're not getting away with it, but that they didn't do. There's no real local map. When you go to a planet and like you're in a city or you're trying to find something, you'll get an icon, but there's no topology, there's no directions, there's no building locations, there's no nothing. It's just like a blue dotted grid. And then the icons for different things, and that's it.
Okay.
So that sucks. No map. Whereas Skyrim, fully detailed map, fully fleshed out, showed you everything you need to know. And that's for the local one. When you get out to like Skyrim itself, I mean, it's just mountain ranges and stuff, but it was like an animated map. You can see where the trees were and where the tops of the mountains were and the fog rolling over the tops of them and stuff like that. Just doesn't have anything. This next thing I don't want to complain about. But hang on, before I get to the big thing, because this is just shit, because people are assholes, and you're free to your own opinion and your own beliefs, but fuck you for infringing on other people.
Right.
The boundary thing that I mentioned, people were worried about that before early access people got to play. Like, they were like, oh shit, there's boundaries that don't let you go past or anything. It takes you at least 15 to 20 minutes, if not longer, to walk in one direction to even hit that boundary. So, that's not a big deal. It's not like you're going to be walking in that direction for a long time for any kind of quest or whatever. That's just doing it because you can. There's no reason to do so. And even if you got to that boundary, you can pick another point on the map to travel to, basically, but it's on the other side of that boundary, basically. And then it'll propagate something else on that side for you to do. So it's not like you're missing out on anything. It's basically seamless. You just have to sit through another load.
Okay, so it's not really a boundary. It's just be like, say, hey, take a breather. We need to before we kill your computer. Let us resin new stuff.
Basically, a little pop-up comes up on your screen that says something like, hey, maybe you need to fast travel back to your ship and pick somewhere else to land. Right. Like, that's not word for word, but that's essentially what the gist of what the message says.
Right.
The latest thing, and this isn't a detriment to the game, but this is more a lot of the vocal minority of people playing the game or wanting to make a show of it have been doing or making rounds. And that is, once you get through the character creator, which that itself, a little side note, is super short.
Mm-hmm.
You start the game as like a mining person. They show you how to like look around and do things, pick up the mining thing. And then you have to like go into... You're basically the canary in the coal mine and testing things for people, so that way they don't die. So they send you in, you do something, you get knocked out, you come back to, you make your character. At the end of making the character screen, you name your character, and then you can pick your pronouns, should you choose so. Where do you think the hang-up is?
I don't see a hang-up. I don't know what the problem is.
Apparently, it's too difficult for people to just ignore the whole pronoun thing or pick what their preference is. Instead, they make it a whole shit and shebang about having to pick your pronouns and being pissed off about it. Like, just lately, there was a dude complaining, saying, why are we stuck in current times when this is a future space game? Why are we hung up on pronouns and shit? Complaining about California, like saying that they're pushing their beliefs. Bethesda is a company that comes out of fucking Maryland. That's where they got the name. It's not a California company. But he's bitching and complaining about that, and then people like complaining about that they feel like they have to pick these pronouns, or saying that they're injecting liberal beliefs into the game because the pronouns exist. It's just another option for you to be immersed. There's also traits in the game that you do not have to pick to flesh out your character. Those are completely optional. You can pick nothing and just set your background for what type of character you want to be and go through the game like that. It's a completely optional thing that you can ignore entirely, and it won't change. And nobody in the game even recognizes it or says anything about it. They do not give a shit if you're a guy or girl. They don't say, hey, dude, or hey, lady. They just look at you and say, I need you to do this, or have you been here before? That's it.
People bitching to bitch, basically.
Yeah.
Because apparently, I'm guaranteeing whoever is doing that bitching has never watched Star Wars or Star Trek or anything from the sci-fi or fantasy genre.
Hey, the dude I mentioned played Hogwarts Legacy, and he told people to stop bitching about J.K. Rowling and just enjoy the game. But then he gets hung up on the pronouns about this. Talk about hypocrisy.
Yeah, basically. That's the very definition of he's doing it for the clicks.
Yeah.
It's a decision that they made. Let it go. If it's not...
Besides... Go ahead.
No, like you said, it's optional. It's not forcing you to pick.
And like I was literally about to say, it's an RPG. RPG stands for role-playing game. You make the character how you want.
Right.
You don't have to put so much emphasis on these things.
I think people need to get over themselves.
Just shut the fuck up and play the game. You don't like it, don't pay attention to it. It has no bearing on the game whatsoever. It does not affect anything when you play the game.
Except his pure little feelings.
Some people are just ridiculous.
Basically.
Anyway,
fuck 'em.
I give the game... Yeah, no thank you. I give the game a solid 8.5 out of 10. I don't do reviews. I don't care. I like playing games. But if I had to put a number on it, it's a solid 8.5. It is, like I told you, it is a Bethesda game. It is a very fun, immersive RPG that you can get lost in and explore for hours, and literally to this point, because they've upgraded their systems and added a lot to this compared to like Skyrim and Oblivion and even Fallout 4. Like they kind of built it off the back of Fallout 4's like outpost system that they had. and how some of the gameplay felt, they really put a lot more into this. The facial animations when people talk to you, like, you can see where a lot more effort was put into them, where it's like the NPCs that are your companions or specific quest givers and stuff, fully animated, look great. They are expressive as hell. They have their own beliefs, likes, dislikes, and all that shit. Side quests and stuff that you would do in the game, people you talk to, not to that same level as your companions and stuff, but look really good. NPCs that you walk by that are like auto-generated and stuff, most of the time they look bug-eyed and creepy, but there's still a level of detail there.
Right.
Where do I want to go from there? This game, oh my god, this game is huge. Like, just in choices and the way that you can play the game alone, it is massive. Like I said, it's a slow start. The introductory quest is really lame to get you to the character creator, but it has to be really generic and whatever to get you into like the main thrust of the story. And getting through that and the systems and actually figuring it all out, it was tough. Like, when I played it, I was like, I with how excited I was kind of expecting more. And I was like, something's missing. Something's not working right. And this was like the first night. Then I came back to it the next day, and I'm like, oh no, this is fun. It started clicking. Everything started making sense. And I'm like, okay, this is great. The gunplay itself is like super snappy and responsive. It feels good. The way you can traverse and do things. There's even a cover system in this game now that was not in any of the other ones either.
Right.
The main quest is super interesting, and I'm not going to spoil it or anything like that. But I will say, this is the one and only game that I know of from Bethesda where New Game Plus is not just, hey, you're playing the game again, keeping your stats. There's more to the game after you beat the game and change it over.
Yeah.
The game is not done just because you beat the game once. The game continues on New Game Plus. And without spoiling it, you do New Game Plus 2, it keeps going. There are people who have done New Game Plus up to 5, and it's still not done.
Oh, fuck.
Shit changes in the game, and it fits thematically with like the main story. And I was like, oh, that's interesting. And that kind of like spurred a thing where like people were saying, because of this, should you like just rush through the main story just to get to these points? And like, I think the consensus is no. Spend your first playthrough exploring, doing all the side quests, experiencing all these things. Experience all this shit once. Then do New Game Plus. Make different choices, make different experiences, play a whole entire different character. Because like I said earlier, you can make any kind of build that you want and do whatever kind of role that you want in the game.
Right.
But the fact that when you get to that point where you want to start the game over, that it continues is like the biggest thing for me right now. Because I just want to see what that means and where it's going with it.
Because essentially it means it's a whole new game.
Yeah. The fact that I still can't get over that. The fact that you beat the game does not mean that it's beaten.
Right.
The sucky thing is that you lose your money, your ships, your weapons, and all that stuff, I think. Or no, maybe you keep your weapons. You keep your stats. Oh, what is it? You keep your skills, your level, and something else. And then you lose everything else from there. But you get new dialogue options. You get extra stuff from that. You get new experiences. And you can create a new character. But you maintain a lot of that stuff.
Yep.
This is a super deep, super massive RPG. And this is why I want to keep playing it. It is so good. On a video game scale, it is a solid 8.5. Just because you can see some of the cracks when you're playing the game and whatnot, and it's not seamless. It's not the best in all the aspects of whatever, but it is excellent. It is so worth the time.
Well, I'm glad you're getting your money's worth.
I will get off my soapbox now.
Hey, that's the point of this. We're not. If people are playing games for any other reason besides what you're doing right now, why are you playing?
Oh, I don't know how I didn't cover this. Hang on. Do you want me to tell you some more experiences from the game?
Sure.
Because I have it on here, and I completely went over. I didn't even mention any of this stuff. So just like flying in space, I was hailed by somebody who asked me for my ship's extended warranty, if I wanted to renew it or not. Not a joke. A school class, like a class from school, was on a trip to like some other planet to learn about whatever, and their grab drive had a problem, so they needed some ship parts to fix it. These are all random too. This is not side quest stuff or nothing. This just happens in space, and there's a bunch of the shit that goes on. There was a couple that was like they were trying to find some city or some planet. I missed what they were saying, but they were arguing, and you can hear them over the comm. So then they end up hailing you and asking you for directions. So then you can say husband's right or the wife's right, or you can say I don't want any part of this.
Yep.
And like they'll react to whichever choice you pick, and then they'll go off. While I was fighting some pirates on a base, I found a secret note that led me to a side quest called The Lair of the Mantis. Come to find out, this whole thing was infiltrating a trap-filled base that was connected to a cave. But this entire thing, learning the backstory of this, was an homage to Batman. Because you learned through like context clues and audio messages that this person, instead of the parents being murdered, the mom set the kid up. She trained him since he was a kid to like do martial arts and like know how to do traps and make things and whatnot. And the idea was like he would find this stuff and get through it, so that way he can take on the mantle of the Mantis. Yeah. And he would get like the suit and the ship and everything. So once you get through it, you got the superhero suit for it. You got the new Class C ship, which is Class C is like one of the best types of ships. And you take off from the cave where all like the Batman stuff would be in that cave.
Yeah.
That was super cool. The faction quest, like in all the Bethesda games, there's always like factions that do different things and whatnot. You can join all of those, like Thieves Guild or the Dark Brotherhood and Skyrim and stuff like that. There's a handful in this. There's the main two that you'll usually hear is like the UC, what is it? The UC Corps or something like that, or the Freestar Collective, which one is like the space cops, and then the other one is like the marshals or sheriffs who are like let us live and be by ourselves, and the other ones are like more about order. Besides them, you can work for like an undercover agency and infiltrate the space pirates and learn about them, so that way you can take them down from the inside. You can join the space pirates if you want and just be a pirate and take over other people's ships and steal their shit or blow them up. You can be a bounty hunter and just kill everybody if you really want to, too. Like I said, man, there's so much. It is so cool.
The excitement on your face.
I love it.
Open his presents on Christmas.
It is so good. I don't like talking very much, but I can't say enough about this game. It is so good.
You don't like talking much, but we have a podcast.
Yeah, well, I like to talk about things I like, if you can't tell.
No, but I'm glad it's doing well.
Do you have any questions about it that I can answer? I'd be happy to.
I think I'm overloaded at this point.
Sorry. Fair. I know that was a lot.
I think the only way you could overload me anymore is going over your Destiny lore at this point.
Yeah, that's a lot too.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Especially how things in Destiny right now are linking back to old lore cards in like the beginning of D2 or even D1 in some instances. Yeah, deep cuts.
Uh-huh.
I need to take like a big deep breath and just chill for a minute.
Try to see if we got anything else.
I think we got everything.
Yeah.
It's a nice bookend. Starfield dump.
Yeah. Now, where can everybody find us?
You tell me. I need a break.
Yeah. Well, they can find us on Facebook, Twitter, or X, whatever the hell you want to call it.
Twitter. Never calling it X.
Basically all the socials. We're on YouTube.
I can't put that.
You got a problem with YouTube?
No.
Okay. And wherever you can listen to podcasts.
Yeah. I got nothing else to add.
Leave a like, comment, and subscribe.
Now that's for YouTube. I guess we should start saying that since we're on YouTube now, yeah.
Apparently.
So do it. You know
Please.
you want to.
Smash that like button. Ding that bell. All the shit they say at the end of their videos.
Oh, Jesus.
Love you guys.
I'm assuming this means we're done.
Yes.
All right.
So,
Oh, yeah.
good night, everybody.
Okay. Time to go play some Destiny before bed.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.